Yo, 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 welcome back. Oh, God. Hey, what's up, articulators and others? Welcome back to Articulate with Steve McJones. This week, I had an old, dear friend, Mackenzie Kane from my very own hometown in Lebanon, Ohio, come on podcast and talk about something relevant for once, you know? Typically, I kind of just talk about whatever I want to talk about or whatever, just bullshitting around. And it's cool to have a conversation about something that happened at OU. We decided to talk about the whole Kaitlin Bennett thing that happened here and all the videos that were released on that and what it feels like from the student's perspective and the misconceptions in the news. I don't know, just a different look at what happened at OU and why it does and does not matter at all. So yeah, she's a great person. I mentioned it in the podcast, but she is somebody who really helped me adjust to OU and college in general, and is always a great, she's just super fun and amazing, and yeah, she's great. So yeah, this is her. We are a go. Ladies and gentlemen, Mackenzie Kane, welcome to the podcast. How excited are you? I don't know.
I'm excited.
It's good. It really is good to see you though. After all this time, you really broke me in at OU.
Yeah.
And I haven't. You just said. We were talking a little bit before, and you just said that. You're on your final year, and you're finally starting to get out of the Ohio University thing. And so freshman year, I was not in it at all, and you were definitely somebody that helped me adjust a little bit. So I appreciate you, and it's good. It always is good to see your face around here and whatnot.
I love seeing you, especially when we're out and I see Steve. I'm like, guys, Steve's here. And they're like, oh my god.
Yeah. Speaking of seeing people and freaking out, Kaitlin Bennett was here a couple weeks ago
on your birthday.
Your birthday. That's
and I
so
missed
sad.
it because I was in Lebanon.
Would you have gone to the protest?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that would have been. I heard about it and I was like, it's just not. It was all the way down and.
When I heard about it, I was excited because I was like, I am just gonna go walk around until she comes up to me and asks me a question, and I can just be like, I don't want to talk to you.
I don't want to talk to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your face is just annoying.
Exactly. I went through, I was on my way home and I found out she was coming, or she was here. Mm-hmm. And I can't, I literally in my head was going over, I forget what it was that I was going to say. But I had a full on.
Oh, you had something prepared.
It was something along the lines of I'm not going to contribute to this social media shitstorm that I'm always seeing. That
you bring her, you're a whirlwind. You're the center, the main point of just confusion and just conflict and anger.
Conflict.
And it's I don't really want to mess with it. But here's the thing: is so. I personally, you don't have to, state your views or whatever. Personally, I try not to sway either way. Yeah. Especially, podcasts. But, again, it's just like you said, is there's extremists on both sides. So it's why would you want to go there? It's wait for her to confront you, wait for her to kind of get on, you don't want to be the one doing those things. You don't want to be the extremist because you're going to get here and then you're going to make the conflict and it's whatever. I don't know. So I don't know. What are you about to say?
Did you watch the video on that she posted about that day?
No. Is there a full video now?
Yeah. So she does Liberty Hangout. I'm not fully sure what it is. It's a libertarian. I don't know. There's a website for it, and that's what she records the videos for, right?
Okay, I thought it was a YouTube channel or something, but no,
they're probably on YouTube,
right?
But so I checked it out because I was I knew I was gonna come on and talk about it, so I was I need to
research.
Research. I need to know what it is that I'm talking about, so I don't say something that completely contradicts.
Because I have no idea, to be honest with you. So
so
I'm glad you did. So.
I texted you yesterday. I have so much to say.
Yeah.
Because I went to research because I was like coming in and I was gonna talk about how I didn't like her and how like she's deplorable and all this stuff. And I started watching the video because you know how they said she came here to do President's Day trivia?
Oh,
like
yeah.
So I was like, there's no way she came to do President's Day trivia. She came to harass people about transgender bathrooms and this and that, whatever. Because I'd only ever seen videos where she's like not screaming, but like aggressively talking to someone who like doesn't give a shit who uses what bathroom. You know what I mean?
But I think it's interesting. You do have to take into account that the platforms that you see those on are the liberal media.
Yeah, that's where. Because I watched this, and the first question she asked someone was, "Who are the first 3 presidents?" Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, she was actually. I think she came here, and she was going to do President's Day trivia.
Really?
Yeah.
So here we go. We're getting to the truth.
Yes, and so she. It was a 39-minute video. I stopped watching though.
No,
after
of course.
like 28 minutes.
Because I mean, how much do we care about the presidents? You know.
Right. Well, no. It was she asked one President's Day question, and then people started coming up to her and like saying, what was it? Someone asked what if she like to name a bar, right? She's like, I don't drink, and someone behind them was like, you're a Republican and you don't drink?
Oh,
and I was like, God. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like your party is
like I feel like I know more conservative, like Republican people who don't drink than what I do anyone else. But I don't think that...
Yeah, because it's called conservative, you know, like the definition of conservative.
Exactly.
Right.
But,
well, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't... Yeah. So she wasn't, like, warranting... I don't know. I saw some parent post on Facebook about how she was asking questions about, like, the queers and, like, I don't know, saying all these slurs around and being, like, homophobic or racist or whatever. But, you know, that's again, an Athens parent.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is it's a little different of a topic. But, yeah, so at what point did they, in the video, did it turn from President's Day trivia to the attack or whatever?
Immediately. So she asked the question, and then the boy, like, wanted to leave. He answered it. He got them right, which I would not. I know George Washington.
Yeah, fair enough. Abraham Lincoln, come on.
Well, I know who that is, but he's not one of the first 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I would have, if she would have asked me that, I would have been like, sorry, not my major.
Right. I mean, history's not important anyways, right?
Right.
Just forget it. Just leave it in the past.
Even if we know it, we're gonna repeat it anyway.
Yeah. Fuck it.
I forget where I was going. I don't know if I was going anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was immediate. So she is immediately like, the first question, the first thing that someone said when they came up to her was like, name one bar on OU's campus. Or it was like, that's kind of like funny, I guess. Like you're not really contributing to like
the statement. You're not contributing to like the goal of like
of why she comes here.
Or against why she comes here.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So, but then
to the argument, you're not contributing to any argument.
Exactly.
You're just like, what bar do you go to?
Yeah. This is Athens, Ohio. We drink.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the conversation we hear from about more than 50% of the people around. Oh, what's your favorite bar? What do you like to drink?
Yeah, that is true. I do get that asked to me a lot.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to drink anymore.
So like I don't need it. I'm done.
I'm talking about it. Someone said something because I'm moving back in with my parents after school. They were like, you're gonna live in Cincinnati, like. You're going to have money to go out? And I texted them back. I was like, I don't think I'm going to drink that much after I graduate. Like, I think I've kind of run my course.
Yeah. Hey, and that's probably what college is for, right? Yeah. Just to kind of get over that hump of like...
I've gotten it all out.
All right. Hey, there you go.
Well, not yet, because I still have a couple months. But...
Yeah, a couple months. In these last couple months.
I'm still kicking.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, so they asked her like what her favorite bar or do you even know a bar here? Like
yeah, and she was like, I don't know, I'm not from here. I don't drink, like whatever. And then I don't know. I think someone might have come up and asked about like why do you not like people using the same bathroom?
Which would be an intelligent question.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
starting an intelligent
conversation. Yes. And so that's why I would love to like sit down with her and actually have a
conversation.
Come
on the podcast, Kaitlin Bennett. Come on.
Kaitlin, come on. I'll come back. I want to be in. I call dibs on being in on that.
Yeah, for sure. If she comes, for sure.
Of course. But she, like... So, I don't know what I'm trying to say that I disagree with pretty much everything that Kaitlin, like, her views, right?
You're right, and you're allowed to. Right?
But I also think that her and I would probably get along well as people, as individuals.
Really?
Yes, because as I was watching the video, and then I went on, which I was watching it on Liberty Hangout, and I was watching it off of, like, the Twitters and stuff. Twitters.
The Twitters. You know, the tweets and the twits. And the
twats.
And the twats.
So I guess that does make sense why she looked good. Because she was the one posting it.
Right, but you got both sides because you saw all of what anybody from OU was posting about her.
Well, I have something to say about the poop your pants thing.
Yeah, well, so that is what I wanted to get into. Is like, why is that even an argument? Why do you bring that up? Like, what even, like, okay, I get that it's something that she did, and honestly, is kind of funny on, like, one level.
Yeah, like, you shit your pants, whatever.
Yeah, it's just like a poop joke. And like, you just get over that,
hey,
first of all.
remember when you pooped your pants?
Yeah, but that can't be your main thing. They were, like, chanting it.
Exactly. And I have something to say. I bet at least 5 people who were chanting that day have shit their pants or will shit their pants from drinking too much by the time they graduate college.
Right.
Like, I don't know anyone who has shit their pants from being too drunk.
Yeah, me neither, but it's like, it's
something that does happen.
Yeah, right? Browning out. Where
Exactly.
You just brown out. You're like, well, I don't know. It just kind of slipped out, yeah. And, like, you know, you just don't, like, make... It doesn't even have to be, you know, you don't make it all the way. She was probably on her way to the bathroom, and then something happens. You just get distracted. Yeah,
you got distracted.
Got distracted.
That's what, if I ever poop my pants, it will probably be because I was drunk and was on my way to the bathroom and then saw someone and started talking to them. Because I am, like, the girl who, when she's drinking at bars... I try to make as many friends as possible. And once I get into the bathroom, I'm in there for 45 minutes because I'm talking to every girl that walks in.
Oh, yeah. Just like the Stevens bathroom. I saw you there and you, like, met a girl that I was with before I even saw you. And then you came out and you're like, hey. And I was like, hey. And then you guys came out together.
And I was like, oh, this is my friend.
And I'm like, I was like, that's my friend. Yeah.
The Stevens bathroom is the one. Because they don't have the... locks. So I'll just be in there and I'll be like, I'll hold it for you. Like, hey, yeah, whatever. I won't look and like start talking. And I'm like, yeah, another life story. I have so many people on Snapchat that
you've just
I have
met
no
in the
idea
bathroom.
who they are.
Yeah. That's college. I think that's a lot of. I've seen like business cards just laying around campus of like a snap, like the things that you take a picture of to add.
Really?
Yeah, and like here's my Instagram and like Twitter and whatnot.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's fun, and you know, good for them. You know, they just want to branch out and make some friends.
Probably want to be an influencer.
But yeah, probably. But that's too much. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, for me at least, is like, first of all, those people, you're barely going to recognize them, and then you're not going to have anything in common with half of the people that you meet, and the people that you do have stuff in common with, there's going to be, I don't know. It's like, it's not a satisfying relationship if it's just like, oh, I know this fucking guy, and just like walking around. It's satisfying for that moment.
For that moment, yeah.
Yeah, when you're at a bar and like 5 people come up to you and somebody's like, wow, you know a lot of people. You're like...
I'm super popular.
Yeah, whatever. It's like nothing. I know, it's like, I'm not, but...
You should see me walking down Court Street, constantly stopping and talking to people.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, we can relate this to like Kaitlin Bennett kind of thing, is because like the image she's portrayed out is like the type where she's going to get those... It's not going to be anything that's meaningful, but she's going to be walking around and she's going to be getting those people that are like, hey, you're Kaitlin Bennett, and then end up shitting on her or whatever. I mean, not yet. I mean, throwing toilet paper or like giving her a diaper or whatever it was.
That's what I had. Okay, I was writing like notes down yesterday when I was looking this stuff up, but it was the poop thing is literally like, if you don't like her for her political views, and the first thing you go to is she pooped her pants, you probably don't know actually why you don't like her. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I think the people who are screaming, "You pooped your pants," are the people who are doing it just because they're like,
they want to
she's
be part
a
of
bad
the
person.
thing.
Yeah,
They
they see everyone else hating her. I mean, like, I didn't like her. I don't know her, but
she just
I'm
has a
still
really
not...
face that just seems like she's an unlikable person, and and that's what I'm saying. There is a part that is on her because she the brand that she puts out. You know what I mean? Because of the character that everybody sees her as is like, you're only gonna see the stuff that makes people mad.
Yeah.
And that's what she wants to do is provoke people. So maybe not all of her videos are about provoking people, right? Some of them are about asking questions about the president or whatever.
Yeah.
However, the ones that are going to get the most views and popularity
are the ones where it's going to be, there's conflict.
Controversial, yeah. So it's like a little bit on her because she chose to do that. And also, that's the other thing is like, I do feel bad for her too because she's also just graduated, you know? She's still figuring shit out as well. And in like 3 years, she could be like, fuck, why did I do any of this? You know,
because everyone knows her name. Like, everyone knows who she is.
Oh, yeah.
And if she ever wants to not be Kent State Gun Girl, she's screwed. Because she's always going to be Kent State Gun Girl.
Oh, man.
But I also think, like, I got very confused while I was, like, watching the videos and stuff because... there were some videos where she was having fantastic conversations with people about, like, abortion and, like, thoughts on that. What if it's a little 12-year-old girl and she gets raped? It was very respectful, too.
Really?
And, yeah, and there were always people walking by, like, screaming crappy things to her, but, like...
Shitty things.
Yeah, shitty. But, I don't know. I think, like... Her stuff's obviously putting out content that makes her look good. And then everything I've always seen has been just, like, making her look like... I thought she came onto campuses and was just, like, saw the first person... She, like, went up to the first person she saw and it was like, so, do you hate fags? You know what I mean? Like, I thought she would just immediately go into these... But I don't know if that's what it is.
Right. I don't think that's what it is. That's what I'm saying is, like,
it just gets turned into it.
Yeah, and you can't judge people based off of, like, you know, I don't know Kaitlin Bennett.
Exactly.
You know, it's like I've known what I saw on her on Twitter, which is nothing, you know, it's like just little clips and little videos and whatnot. But like you said, once you do a little bit of research and go and maybe view one entire video, you find out that there's more.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, everybody, like I was kind of saying earlier, is like she's going through this age right now where she's still trying to figure out, everybody our age, still trying to figure it out, you know, it's like that, you know, she's got some shit going on in her head that is hard, you know, it's tough. But to be fair, again, she is like, I'm this age and I realize what that impact would do to me if I were to, again, that's why I kind of stay moderate because, well, first of all, I don't know anything about politics, so I don't, like, have,
Yeah, that's where I've kind of given up on, because I used to be very passionate, and then I would get into conversations and arguments with people, and I would realize that I have no idea what I'm talking about at all.
Arguments, yeah.
And so I've gotten to a point where I'm just kind of like, I have my opinions, but I'm not going to speak on it
because I
unless I like do the research and know what it is that I'm talking about.
Right.
And I'm also really just sick of politics.
Oh,
I think it's turning into a joke. I hate it.
My friend just sent me it was like a review of like the Dem debate or something, and it was just the highlights from it. And the first 5 minutes were them just shitting all over Mike Bloomberg.
Yeah.
Which, you know, apparently is warranted, whatever, with context. I get it, but it's like, that's still just bad TV. It's like a reality TV show where there's drama.
That's what it's turning into.
Yeah.
Like, fully. Especially, when, like, the last... like 2016, I remember just being like, what is this? I don't really pay attention to much of it at all because I think the way that it works in this system, it's always Democrats against Republicans.
Right.
And even the people who say that they're the moderates and stuff, you know what I mean? They're constantly, it's either the Democrats or the Republicans, or the liberals or the conservatives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're constantly being put up against each other and compared and like used as like an argument. And I think, I don't know how to, I hate so much that that's the, like, the conversation is always about
so
who's
one
wrong.
Side. Yeah, who's
right?
wrong. Yeah.
But there are so many different ways to look at it, and there's so many different ways to be a Republican or a Democrat, and like so many different views that you, like, infinite. You can, there's infinite, and so I think it's so stupid. I think it's so stupid, and that's still, like, that's the thing that everyone's on.
Yeah.
Too. Like, it's Fox News or CNN.
Right.
And they're just like...
And that's where the brainwashing comes in.
Yeah. They're like hell-bent on just saying that the other side is wrong, instead of being like, let's actually get something productive done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know why? Because they want to make money off of it.
Exactly.
And if there's competitiveness, that's why the Super Bowl, well, that's not why, but one of the reasons the Super Bowl is one of the most viewed things in the world ever, because it's a competition, you know? It's like people want to be like root for one side, and they want to have arguments. Like they want, you know, I think it's a conversation for some people that can't have conversations on their own, is really what it is. But I mean, it's just really divisive and annoying, and I think that there can, I don't know, I've talked to a lot of older people, especially at the bar now that I work, and they, back in the day, it used to be, I mean, even in like, so something about history that I do remember is like, it wasn't all, you know, it would be, they would elect the one candidate from one side, but then the vice president would have to be the other candidate, the one that was running against them. So it would be like a Republican and a Democrat at the beginning. Okay. And obviously nothing ever got done. Yeah. But yeah, so at some point it went from working together with the other person to just completely just... And now it's like one person gets elected and they do stuff to make the world change for the better in this way. And then the other person comes into office and completely, first 2 years, just eradicates all of what they did. Yeah. And then tries to make the world better in the other way.
Exactly.
And I don't know. That's where I think this, I was talking about this with my family recently, and I think all adults kind of realize this, is like, there is two sides. Like, there are, fundamentally, people fall into two categories. But is like, you know, neither of them are wrong. They just have a different perspective. Exactly. So, I don't know. Like, you, like, kind of going off what you're saying is they just need to work off of each other and kind of like work together, as opposed to working for that competition.
Yeah. Or working to win the conversation.
Right, definitely.
Which never happens.
Which never happens.
I took a class last year, and it was called Difficult Dialogues, and so I thought it was going to be it was like it counted for my religion course, because they used the Bible, and then I think like some philosophers and stuff. It's one of my favorite classes that I've taken.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
But they use the Bible and like very controversial books from the, not controversial, that's probably the wrong word. I think I keep saying that. I don't know.
I mean, it, you know, makes sense to me.
Yeah. So they use like, I forget what the book is called.
It's like debatable, like statement, like more things that are like morally kind of borderline. You know, things that you don't know if it's right or wrong. Yeah,
and so then there would be like a 30-minute lecture, and then we would go into groups, and we had the like rest of the hour to talk. Oh, like, cool. Then there were like questions too, and so we would all have to go around, and the class literally was like, the whole point of it was to learn how to have conversations with productive conversations with people who do not think or agree with whatever your point of view is. Really? Yeah. It was really cool, because there was one time it was Dr. Hayes. I just remembered his name, so I said it. I don't know why I did.
No, that's all right. No, that's fine.
But
shout out Dr. Hayes.
Shout out Dr. Hayes.
He's
great
the dude.
Class.
He was a great class.
He is a really cool dude. But he had people stand up as an example one time. He was like, okay, who is like very supportive of police? And so people rose their hand. He picked one person, and then he was like, okay, who is, like, one of, like, the people who...
Fuck 12.
Yeah, fuck 12, basically, yeah. And so people raised their hands, and this one girl got picked. And she was, like full-on anarchist. Like, she had said that. She was, like, very anarchist. And, like, thinks that people should govern themselves. Okay. Which that could probably be the definition of anarchist.
Right.
I don't know. But then the other guy, probably just like a normal frat dude.
Yeah. Who was like, yeah, like the cops. He's, yeah.
Yeah, like, they're here to protect us.
Yeah.
And so he had them do the arguments, and then Dr. Hayes kept asking them questions, and he would be like, okay, you answer, now you answer.
Yeah. And
then he would go off of that and ask another question. They would each answer, and then he got to a point where they both agreed on something.
Oh, really?
And he was like, and that's how simple it is. You just need to keep asking questions and talking to each other. Until
you understand.
Yeah.
On something you can agree on. Wow. Mm-hmm. That sounds like an amazing class.
It was so cool.
Right.
But I think, like, the big problem that we have now, especially with, like, social media and stuff, is they don't want to hear what...
Yeah, it's not a conversation anymore. It's like, here's my bleh, and, like, put it out into the world.
Here's what you're wrong. Yeah. Like, instead of just being like, so why do you think that way?
Right.
Or, like, what... You know, I don't know.
Well,
trying to understand people is just...
I know, and so yeah, there's a question that has to be asked is, has there always been that type of people? Is it a product of, like, social media, or is there people that are always going to be like that and will never change, you know? I
think it's probably... It's always been like that, but people have always wanted to be right?
Right.
I think with social media now...
It's just
you can say something, or, like, do a photo shoot with a big AR-15 or whatever kind of gun she had in front of the college you just graduated from. Mm-hmm. And then everyone knows who you are. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think people have gotten to a point where a lot of people want they want to be known. Everyone wants to be an influencer now.
Oh, for sure. You know it's the golden age. You got to be famous.
Everyone wants to be famous.
Yeah.
I want to be famous. Yeah. I don't know what I would do.
Of course. I don't know if you've heard, but I have this really cool podcast. It's called...
I don't know what it... Really?
Yeah.
I don't like podcasts that much.
Yeah. I mean, it's not... It's nothing, you know. I'm not proud of it. You know, I just do it.
Just do it to pass the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
In Athens.
In Athens. Where no time exists ever.
Ever.
Yeah. But yeah, so everybody wants to be famous, and that's what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I think, again, I'm not trying to relate it to, this is going to be like a generalization, but like capitalism. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There are good points of capitalism, and like people can start their own businesses and like put work into something and get it paid off for it through capitalism. However, also it's created this mindset of like, oh, I have this thing that is awesome, and it's not awesome. And nobody can tell them that it's not awesome anymore because of the safe spaces and like everything that has been included with everything. And in this, we've just conditioned ourselves to, you can't accept everybody. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're supposed to do now, is accept people who are of all different areas. And that's one of the main arguments against the Kaitlin Bennett like rioters. They're like, oh, you act like you're tolerant, and then look at this. She comes to your school and you just freak the fuck out over her. Yeah,
I have something to say. Yes. That was one big thing that I was just like, what? When I was watching this video. There were so many people. Like, I watched the video and I honestly was embarrassed to be like, and there were two girls who came up and they were like saying they loved her and stuff, and they were like, you're badass, like, you're strong, I'm so sorry people are talking to you like this. This is not a representation of Ohio University.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it is not. Because, like, holy shit. People were coming up to her and, like, screaming, like, get the fuck out, like, go home, we don't want you here, you're a minority here, get out.
Yeah, well, like, what?
And I was like, wait, so you hate her because supposedly she's, like, racist, you know, like, completely intolerant of, like, people of color, LGBTQ people. You know what I mean? Like,
which is apparently, like, I don't even know if that's fully true or not. Like, I mean, she might be, like, might have opinions against those things, but is she completely intolerant, racist, homophobic, whatever?
Exactly.
It's like, I don't know.
And it's like because no one has ever been like, oh, let's sit down and ask her about what she thinks.
Yeah.
They just scream and tell her to leave.
Right.
But it's just like, why are you telling someone to leave and they're not welcome here because they're a minority when that's the exact thing you hate about her, supposedly.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and the poop thing made me so mad.
And it's so childish.
I keep going back to that, but it's just like, what? Who cares?
Yeah. And that has nothing to do with, like, again, she was drunk as hell.
It has nothing to do with your differing opinions at all.
Not at all. And that's another lesson, is that in the future, you're going to meet people who have made mistakes in their life, like big mistakes. And every single person has a mistake that they are completely ashamed of, you know?
Yeah.
Or if they don't, they're going to make one. Yeah, they're gonna, you know? It's just part of life, is making mistakes.
Yeah,
figuring
big
it out.
mistakes.
Yeah. So make mistakes. You get to make mistakes. You don't have to. You get to.
It's a privilege.
It's a privilege. Yeah, so I don't know. The whole Kaitlin Bennett thing is just dumb. I'm more excited to see how people like you and me, I feel like, are expanding. I feel like we are a growing population while we still are the minority. I feel like there's people are wanting more of a conversation. People see this radicalization on the media and everywhere, and especially younger kids who are really influenced by it and are like, all right, I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
it's too much.
Sickening. It's
you're right.
Stress. Like, when I get too deep into politics, or like too deep into some like leftist or rightist, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get anxious. It's the same feeling as when I would watch Black Mirror. I hated that show because it felt so real, and it was so warped and stuff. And I that's why I don't really try to pay attention to politics, because I'm just like, it's not working. It's not working.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is you can't, like you said, you don't want to have those conversations because they feel like that sometimes. But it's like, I think those conversations are important, but in the right situation with the right people who are level-headed and can, fully grasp it. Whereas opposed to, like, maybe not George Washington. Apparently he was, like, owning slaves or whatever. But, like, older presidents back in the day is, like, they always had to talk and, like, work it out and be, deeper than just surface level, like, this is what we believe in, and going into why. Yeah. So it's, like, we need something, we need a ground where we can communicate and get this conversation out, even though it does cause anxiety, have things that make you shouldn't have to cause anxiety, is what you're...
Well, okay. I love having conversations about politics. I hate seeing it on social media. That's what...
Well, conversations with friends.
Like, actual, like, productive, real conversations where you're actually getting somewhere. Not like when me and my dad have a couple glasses of wine, we start screaming at each other, and I end up crying. Oh. But I mean, come on. It's constant. Right. Not constant, but it's like...
But I've had conversations, it's like with my friends, and... again, I'm still, like, kind of the moderator. But it's like, he was arguing one side and he was arguing the other. But it was, like, between friends. And it wasn't always about politics, It was about ideology and philosophy and other things that are going on in our mind, and spiritualism and religion. It's like, those are the type of conversations that are great. Like, the next day, you're like, I fucking love that. It's like, that was a great night. I had such a good time just talking with that person. And those are the important ones. Those are the conversations. As opposed to the ones where you, like, end up in a screaming match and you're like, I hated that. I hated everything about that. It just pitted me against them, and it's just another reason to dislike that person. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That's what, coming back to it, I'm hoping that more people like us that want those type of conversation and see what's going on in the world kind of choose to, well, it might not even be a decision, at some point there might be something like a climate change or like or you know, like a big fire or like even more
North Korea.
Yeah, North Korea. There might be something that forces us to all kind of come together as a nation, and people, and peace, love, and hair grease and whatnot. Yeah, it is kind of cheesy. That's the thing about positivity, is it is kind of cheesy, but also it is positivity.
Yeah, it makes you feel good, especially when, like, there are a lot of times when I was in high school. I remember having a conversation with someone, and I was just like, the world is so bad. There's so many bad things.
You actually freaked me out about the hurricanes back in the day, if you remember that. It was like 2 years ago when we were having like 6 hurricanes. I was like, oh God, we're going to die. We're going to die.
I'm like the biggest hypochondriac. And then as like the past 3 days, the past couple of weeks have just been like crappy weather, right? I'm like, and then like everything just feels off and weird.
It does.
Probably because of the weather. And I think the world's ending. I'm like, it's just got to be coming to an end. Because there's something weird in the air. You know what I mean? Like, I'm constantly I'm terrified of the Yellowstone volcano erupting.
Yeah.
I'm...
That one I can see it hits hard. That one hits hard for you.
Yeah, it's that one. Oh my God, my dad used to watch Nostradamus, like on the History Channel or something, and so it talked about, I think 2012, because supposedly he predicted like a whole bunch of stuff, right? And then there was one thing about like 2012 and it was volcanoes. Like, there's gonna be volcanoes everywhere. And then there's a movie called, I don't know if it's called Volcano or something, but it's like a volcano erupts and it's a small little town.
Oh, man.
And everyone has to run and people die. And then there was another show. This all connects. Like, all the shows connect.
Okay.
About Yellowstone and the fact that it's way overdue for an eruption, and like the severity of like what would happen. Like, it would be a global thing
because of how long it's
because of how big the eruption would be, and like all of the fallout after, like all the dust and stuff. Like,
oh man.
Yeah, and I was probably 12 at this point, so I would literally like cry to my dad and be like, we're gonna die, it's gonna be a volcano.
I remember, 2012 was a big deal for me. Mm-hmm. I was like sleeping in bed, like crying and like,
is this it?
And like, what is even death to a kid? Even like,
I don't know.
Why are you freaked out about it? Yeah, and it's like now that you understand that, and as you get closer to it, it's a little bit more intense. You know,
like, whoa, I have not done nearly the amount of things I want to do on this earth.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So tricky stuff. But here's the positive thing. Is that means you should live every day like it's your last.
Yeah.
Right? Even if the volcano erupts tomorrow, that'd be something new, actually. Something unique, something different than getting up every day and doing work and whatnot. Going to class and, So,
applying for jobs.
Yeah, and you may or may not die, depending on how lucky you are.
Yeah. I think isn't science getting to a really good point? People are living to like past 100.
Oh yeah.
More and more now.
Yeah, which is kind of bad, but
I'm at a point where I'm like, that would be cool to break 100 just to be able to be like, I'm 100.
Yeah.
But as soon as I'm
tired,
not able to live independently.
Yeah, just cut me off.
Yeah, I don't want
to pull. Well, that's when I'm gonna start doing like heroin.
Yeah.
Like all the drugs are like, well, time to shoot. That's what I can do.
Yeah.
I may not be able to do the stairs, but I got the needles. So
yeah.
I always thought of it as like age like 69 too, because that's like a solid age, and 69, but now 69, but also like now, like you said, is like people are living older.
Yeah.
And if you can be healthy, there's like 80-year-olds who are healthy and like able to keep
kicking it,
doing their shit, getting their shit done. So it all depends, and also there are things in life that get really fucking hard. Anthony Bourdain, you know his name?
Yeah.
He's like the chef that did everything. Coolest guy ever. Met the coolest people. Ate the best food in the world. Yeah. Traveled for his job, and he still killed himself.
Yeah.
So it's like there are some things there that you and I, as 21 and 22-year-olds, can't even understand yet.
Yeah, fathom. Like, I remember I didn't know who he was until it came out that he killed himself, and I looked into him, and I was like, this is like my dream, interviewing people and eating their food.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it does go to show that.
Yeah.
Someone could be living the friggin' coolest life and be like just
there are
broken.
other parts, broken.
Yeah.
Or other things that happen.
There's other factors in their life that's just like they're not happy.
Yeah. I heard this one, he like went over to like Haiti after the earthquake or something,
mm-hmm.
and was trying to like implement like a free food thing, and like they're doing a nice thing and like documenting it, and like and then it like broke out into like fights over the free food, and people like the largest dude was like taking all the food, and like exactly. So it's like things aren't always like, you don't always get the positivity that you try to put out, mm-hmm. and like I don't know. So yeah,
you want to give and people just want to take.
Right, some people.
Yeah, some people. Yeah, not everyone.
Well, and the thing is, those people are in need. It's not like they were just taken. But it's like, that's what I'm saying. There's so many different things. There's so many different things.
Yes, it's just they're factors. You look at it from a million different points of view, and there are
7 billion points of view.
Yeah,
almost 8 billion points of view.
Exactly. That's I don't know. So many points of view, and that's why I get very scatterbrained.
Well, and that's why, to bring it back to it, is like, that's why you can't be extremist on anything, because how can you have an extreme opinion when 500 billion other people have extreme opinions? You know, it's like, they're all is reasoning behind everything, mm-hmm. and everybody wants to do what they think is best.
Exactly.
But.
Yeah.
But.
You're like, what is best?
Yeah, what is best? Morals are weird. Ethics are weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Hard.
I think we ended mostly on a positive note.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up. If you have anything else that you're like, excited for, any friends you want to shout out, any like projects you're working on, or I don't know.
Anybody in the Cincinnati, Lebanon area know anyone who's hiring communication people?
Marketing / advertising.
Yeah, public relations.
She has a degree. She will have a degree.
Copywriting. Yeah, I will have a degree. Hopefully, if I pass all my classes this semester.
What you plan on?
I know. Yeah, I will. I'm not worried about it. I just don't want to do it.
But yeah. Anyways, you'll be fine. We're all gonna die soon and be fine at the same time.
No one knows what they're doing.
Right.
So I'm not unique in that.
All right, Mackenzie. Well, thank you so much for coming out and recording this. And there she blows. I want to thank Mackenzie again for coming out. I know she's super busy with all her classes and graduation and whatnot. And, giving, I think both of us were pretty unbiased in our opinions of what happened, and, tried to give the facts, and you tried to, not stir up any. Again, we were trying to go against controversy and conflict and just have a conversation, like an intelligent conversation. And I kind of want to, is it bad that I want to have Kaitlin Bennett on the podcast? Send this to her. I'm going to send it to her, and you should all send this to her too. And if I could get her on here, that would be insane. Hashtag Kaitlin Bennett articulate on Kaitlin Bennett. Hashtag, I don't know, something dumb like that. But yeah, thanks for listening. Amen. I love you. Thank you. Okay. Bye.
I hope that it will help you to do a better job.